Hello everyone, I am Tacet, and today I'm going to be doing a key opening for the new kingdom that we just got of Bright Forest. This is the most troops that we ever got in a single day in this game, as well as in a given week. We are getting 9 on today from the new kingdom of Bright Forest, currently named 3002 name, and we'll be getting a new mythic this Friday as well. So today, the two main keys we'd want to throw down are event keys and gold keys. Gold keys to go get the commons and some of the rares. It'd be the only way to actually obtain the commons, and the event keys will be used to obtain all the ultra rare plus, and all the other keys of glory, gem, guild, and VIP chests would be used on this Friday for when the new mythic comes out. So let's go and start opening them. So let's go straight into, actually let's start with gold keys first. I'm going to just open some of them. I'm obviously not going to do every single one. I'm mainly just going to do it until we get 2 of the new ones. Okay, that did not take long, but I believe there's 2 other rares as well. So let me slowly start going through them as we actually obtain them so I can show you guys what they do. So we got the Summer Knight. Destroys a row, gains a bunch of attack and armor, boosted by Red Gem Destroy, and then gains a barrier. It looks really similar to that of the Lion Prince, I believe, that one from Leonis Empire of the 11 mana cost. The only problem is this one's more of a defensive version than it, not a offensive version. It's going to be okay. Personally, I don't really feel like it's going to be that useful, though it does have Holy Armor, which gives it 40% score reduction, so maybe that will make it somewhat useful. But I do feel like the other one, due to its higher damage, will be more viable than this, and this is mainly just going to be that kind of thing that you may throw in Arena here and there. But other than that, I don't really feel like it will have much of a purpose anywheres. We also got 2 copies of the Brownie, who is the new common. It is very similar to that of the Snowy Owl, in a way. It destroys 7 random gems and then creates 7 purples, kind of the inverse of the Owl. The Owl destroys all the purples and then creates a bunch of gems. The Owl is better. This thing is a bit weaker than the Owl, but if you specifically needed purple, this could help a little bit. I'm not quite sure exactly how the order of the destroy plus the purple actually gets put onto the board. Nowhere near what an Owl is, but the fact that it has stealthy, maybe it will get used here and there. But for the most part, kind of just a normal old common that's probably going to be quite forgettable. Anyways, let's keep continuing on the gold keys until we get the other 2. We end up getting the Pixie. Pixie is basically the early game version of Fairy Fire. It Fairy Fires an enemy, and then you automatically gain an extra turn. Biggest issue with this is it has an 8 mana cost. One nice thing about this is you could keep it a low level, like let's say we just want to keep it at this level 5. We could, because regardless of her level, she's still going to gain the same amount of value. So this is a troop that you could use on early on in the game and not really need to worry about leveling it, because whatever her level is, as long as she's strong enough to survive, she can just keep putting down the Fairy Fires. But overall, a Goblin will be much better than this. It's 2 mana cost lower, still gains the automatic extra turn, and has the more immediate damage, which is going to be a lot more useful than a Fairy Fire. Also, for any of you that don't know what Fairy Fire does, as it is a relatively new mechanic, it's getting put on a bunch of troops in this kingdom as a 100% chance. It's the main feature that's even coming with this kingdom, and that is it gives 50% additional damage by all your spells. So let's say if you were to go and hit a Fairy Fire inflicted troop with, let's say, a Goblin, like we just said, that Goblin would then do 50% additional damage off of its cast. So kind of like a Hunter's Mark, except for everything else, for all of your spell-related damage. So it is pretty powerful. Basically, if you cast 2 casts onto a enemy inflicted with Fairy Fire, it's like casting a 3rd one for free. Anyways, let's see if we can find the other one. I believe there is one other rare, if I'm not mistaken, and no, that's not it. Why did I think that was a noob? But we'll go keep doing this until we find it, unless there isn't one, in which case, whoops, I thought there was 3. But we need to open these anyways, so see if we can actually find it. We're not going to be opening every single gold key, obviously, right now. I'll be opening most of them off camera. See, there's the 3rd one. There it is, the Fey Cap. Knew there was another. It deals damage randomly split among enemies, boosted by all ally Fey. Yes, that's ally Fey. 50% chance to disease a random enemy. So, is this thing really useful? No. Way too low of a boost ratio. Not really anything going for it. Traits are kind of meh. Looks like pretty dead content to me. So, maybe something very early game, but even then you have other early game options that probably would work. Like, for example, Ranger, which is the lower mana cost, and you would still get the exact same boost ratio from him without having to use your entire team as Fey. So yeah, this thing's going to be pretty useless. Don't really see much of a purpose for it. It is another disease, which I am glad that they're adding more disease, but still, it's kind of pretty dead content. Anyways, now for the main event, the event keys. We do have all of these. Should I open them 50 at a time? Let me do them 50 at a time. I don't want to overkill it with 200. We'll kill them all out almost instantly. I might do more than what we even have. Hey, we got the new epic immediately. And well, we got several things to go over. We actually got one of the new legends. Oh, I'll go over Florine too. I already opened some because she's the event one that you get through Glory as well. So we have Queen Titania. She is kind of like a Queen map, kind of, very kind of. I say that very loosely. She deals damage to all enemies boosted by red enemies and allies, so kind of similar to that of a Dawnbringer, except it has a even higher boost ratio. I didn't even realize I had a 4 times. Wow, that's actually ridiculously high. So going to be a really good red day counter, not to mention it's red itself, so by default, similar to a Dragon Soul in that it automatically gains a boost ratio off itself. This will also gain a boost ratio simply off of itself. So that is, wow, wait, did I read that right? I didn't even notice that it was that high. Deal that much damage to all enemies. This thing doesn't even have any magic yet, or leveling. Boosted by all red enemies and allies. That is ridiculously strong. And if there are 13 or more red gems, gain an extra turn, which is exactly like Queen Mab. Yeah, that is very, 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 very powerful. I didn't even realize she was that powerful. And on top of that, she also has Fairy Fire, a random enemy on 4 times or 5 times matches. So similar to a Queen Mab, it can do that. And similar to a Queen Mab, it does have its extra turn on its full AoE. So, yeah, it's kind of like the inverse Queen Mab, but very, very excessively useful. Queen Mab is too, but of course she gets hard countered by Impervious. This still has its damage even if the enemy does have Impervious, because it's not mana burn, it's actual physical damage. So very, very powerful. Definitely good to go get one, particularly if you have the trait stones to go get it up, which of course is red-purple. Next one, we have the Free Kingdom Epic. Wow, we got 10 of them. That didn't take long. He's the only epic from the kingdom, which is why we're actually getting so many of him. He deals damage to an enemy boosted by enemy Fae, so only 8 times boost ratio. Maybe early on in the game that could be particularly useful as a Fae counter, though for the most part, this late in the game, that's too low of a boost ratio to be viable. He then summons either a Silver Draken or a Christinex, though that part of his ability is pretty funny. If he summons a Christinex, that is pretty much one of the best summons in the game, other than the fact that Skady can summon a Queen Mab. But yeah, that's pretty far up there. Unfortunately, it's only a 50% chance it might summon a useless Drake or semi-useless Drake. But yeah, if it gets a Christinex summon randomly, that is very, very powerful, particularly if you already have a fully traded Christinex, because it will come in with the traits that you have. So if you have a fully traded Christinex, he will summon you a fully traded Christinex. As far as traits, nothing really that notable. I believe he's the only epic, though, not like it really matters, that has a chance to actually summon something. Which is something, but for the most part, that's not really that applicable. I believe out of every Kingdom epic, he's the only one capable of doing that. But very rarely would you ever really need to use a mechanic like that, so yeah, not really that relevant. For the most part, he's mainly only going to be used probably for, I would say, maybe early game to mid-game Guild Wars, and that's about as far as you're really going to go with him. It is nice that he has the summon, but since it's not 100% chance on either of them, probably not going to be that viable since it's way too random and inconsistent of what you would get out of this. This Cat Slith, or Sith, it seems like it's supposed to be a last slot Impervious counter in a way. It decreases a random skill on the last enemy by a pretty decent amount. It then removes gems of a chosen color, so basically just like a Christinex for board control, and to boost the effect as well, at the same ratio as well. And then it steals 4 mana, so it drains 4, and then it gets 4 for itself, which is pretty substantial, given that if you get a surge on a purple or a yellow afterwards, that would be full mana, assuming that it is not blocked by anything. So you could use this against a last slot Impervious. Impervious, even after they do the changes to mana drain, Impervious will not be getting immune to mana drain, so if someone's trying to use a last slot Impervious to counter a Kraken or whatever else, you would still be able to counter it with this, because Impervious cannot protect against stat reduction, nothing can. It also can't protect against the mana drain that you would end up stealing. And then you just go into one other move, boom, go take your turn, go drain it again, and you kind of keep looping it, and it works out decently. It also is stealthy, so you can't be targeted by single target drains, which is also somewhat useful. Everything else on it's not really that noteworthy, though. Isn't it the only thing with Blessed plus Cursed? Pretty sure there's something else that might have it. but I guess that is something for it. You get some extra stats while the enemy loses some as well, and the rest is just some random trait stone stuff. So we'll go keep opening. Got a pretty nice first drop pull, and oh, I didn't even go over Florian. Let me go do that. But the main event, probably my favorite troop, or actually not probably, this is indeed my favorite troop from the New Kingdom, and I actually kind of want to mythic it. I wish we had more than just one copy right now, but it deals damage to a random enemy. That's pretty weak. It's kind of like a Shadow Dragon in that regard, except no true damage. But the main thing that it does is transforms all blue gems to green to boost the effect. So basically an automatic extra turn effect, or not an automatic extra turn, but it has a extra turn potential plus a mana generation potential. But the main thing is Fairy Fire all enemies. So with that, we will be able to do 50% additional damage to all enemies. And if we do this into multiple AoEs, it will absolutely destroy the enemy team. You may notice that this is basically the same kind of concept of what happened with Glacial Peak, whereas this is basically the Borealis, and the other one that we ended up getting, I already forgot her name, that one that I said was like Queen Mab, is basically like the Queen Mab. So this is like the Borealis of the other kingdom. One reason why he will be viable and the Borealis is not is because he has the Transform, which will not only give him an extra turn potential, but also mana generation, and not just any mana generation, he actually generates back into himself if you want. He transforms blue to green, and he does indeed use green. He does convert out his other color, but still, he still mana generates, he still has that extra turn potential. Borealis does not have this, so he's going to be a lot more viable since he can automatically extra turn, or not automatic, I keep saying automatically, but he has the extra turn potential to automatically do his full effect of Fairy Fire onto all enemies. And that is a lot better value than what you would ever get out of a Borealis in the same regard. So this thing is going to be viable. Very, very viable. Also, it has a somewhat similar concept to that of a Christine X, in that it automatically gains enchant whenever you take a red. Of course, Christine X is whenever you take a purple, it will do it. And let me go over the one I didn't go over because we already got it from the thing. This is basically a different version of Nyx. I guess they're going to be adding one for every single color. This one, I think, is going to actually be slightly better than a Nyx. I'm not quite sure what the team compositions would be. Maybe Nyx will still be better because of the team compositions. But on face value, this troop actually is better, technically as a troop. I'm not quite sure about the synergies, though. But it drains an enemy, and then creates green gems based on the mana drained. So same thing that a Nyx does, except it does it for green instead of blue, and it has a 1-to-1 boost ratio. So if they have 10 mana, you would then drain it all and then get 10 green spam, and then if it's 15, then it'd be 15, so on and so forth. One really noteworthy thing about it, though, is it does get to summon a Leaf Storm whenever an enemy dies, and this is particularly useful since that would synergize with the fact that it is indeed green, so you'd be getting a lot of green potential, not only from her drains, but also from the storm that she would create once you finally get a kill. Very nice. You can also get her through Glory if you, for whatever reason, don't want to throw Glory Keys, though I highly suggest throwing Glory Keys. Well, let's keep going. I need more of those. Yes, thank you. Keep giving me those. We're up to 2 and 2, if I'm not mistaken. We might just keep going until they're both mythic or somewhere around there. We'll have to see. 3-2, I believe, is the score right now. 4-4. Yeah, that should be a 4-4. Keep it going. Keep it going. Can we get it with just the keys we have? That'd be so amazing. Oh, 5-5. You got this. The last 46 keys. I need one more copy of both. Let's see it happen. Come on, pure luck. No! Okay, I gotta go into gems. Let's go into gems then. What was it, 5-5? Come on, let's see 1-1. No, that's the exact opposite of what I need. Though, then again, I actually don't mind having 2 of her. Honestly, I think I might want to try having 3 of her. I want to try something with 3. That seems so powerful. Am I reading something wrong here, or is it really that powerful? I think it is that powerful. It is early in the morning, but no, I think it actually is that powerful. That is pretty broken. Okay, we'll find out. Let's see. Let's go. I need one more of that dragon thingy, and then we'll be good to go. Get past this. Can we get it? Can we get it? Can we get it? I wish there was a way to make them go... Oh, wait, we can. Oh, interesting. Okay, that's going to take too long if I wait for every single individual one, though. I didn't realize you can click it, and then it goes right into the next one. That's kind of cool. Okay, anyways, let's get... No! My gems. Come back. I just need one more. There we go. Okay. Oh, we got 3 of her. It's happening. It's happening. We're doing it. Okay. Anyways, the no-name kingdom. Oh, yeah, let's go to the weird named kingdom. It is called Bright Forest. Also, if I ever call it Blight Forest, I mean Bright Forest. I keep saying that sometimes. The 302 or 3002 name. But anyways, here are all the troops. And yes, we do indeed have enough to make that mythic. And yes, we do have exactly what I wanted. 3 spare copies of Queen Titania after we go and upgrade it. So let me just go upgrade those 2 right now. I'm not going to bother doing every single one. These are the main 2. I just really want to see what they look like fully maxed out, as these are the 2 most relevant ones, obviously, as they are the 2 new legends from the kingdom. So let me go get them both fully traded, see what their stat lines are. And yeah, I don't know, that seems a lot, like, very, very above average for ability. I'll need to reread that one last time. But yeah, let me go back to that in a second, and let's go get this upgraded, ascended. I don't believe we need multiple copies of this. I don't really see any team that would ever really use more than 1. Multiple Christinax works, but this one won't because it doesn't do full AoE damage. It's a random one. It does full AoE burn, Fairy Fire, I mean. But that's not necessarily damage. You need other things on top of that to actually do damage. So it alone is not going to be your damage source. Anyways, let's get both of these leveled, see what their stat lines are. Well, actually, with this one, it's not really as relevant. I actually don't know why I did it. It's mainly her that we really need to know. But it does have a pretty decent HP. Also, by the way, the new kingdom is indeed HP stat as well. Fortunately / unfortunately. Actually, might as well just keep upgrading until we can get that. No, I probably won't do that now. I think we'll have too big of a gap. One really nice thing about this kingdom, though, is it does have 9 troops. As you can see right there, there's the HP that we end up getting from it. But yeah, it does have 9 troops, so that does mean you don't have to fully max out everything in order to get 5 stars. You still need everything pretty far as their upgrades and everything, but yeah, it's a lot easier to 5-star with 9 troops to start instead of just the 8. I hope they do that for all future kingdoms as well, start it with 9 instead of 8, because it's really annoying when a kingdom comes in with only 8, because it's super hard to max out. Anyways, let me go back to the 3002 name kingdom and see what her final stats are. Her HP and armor seem very low. It's either the Glitter Claw is really high or she's really low, or a combination of both. Wait, why does everything on Glitter Claw look like it has such high stats? Or is hers just that low? One of the two. Yeah, that does look... I know it has 20% extra, but that still looks high. Because its attack is even higher, too. Everything on it's so high. I'll need to look into that later. But anyways, let's see. Wait. Oh! That was her base damage? Or did she barely gain any magic? Anyways, 26 damage or 23 damage to all enemies. That's 27 at base because she automatically boost ratios on herself. Boosted by red enemies and allies. If there are 13 or more red gems, gain an extra turn. Yeah, that is exactly what I thought it was. That is a lot of damage. That is very high. Let's say the enemy's using 2. Let's say we want to use 3 because we're going to use 1 mana generator. So what would that bring us to? 5, 20. That would bring us to 43 damage full AoE plus 50% if we want. That's a little bit higher. That's like what, 64? Did I do that right? Yeah, that's 64. It's like 64/65 damage full AoE. That is what, 2-shot? Any team, maybe 3-shot? That is strong. Not to mention it automatically gains extra turn if there's enough red. Oh, that's a bit of an issue. I was actually going to feed it Giant Spider or something. We can't really Hellcat it as easily. Flame Troll also has block on the purple. Oh, we'll figure something out for that. But yeah, you get to extra turn spam too. If you had 3 of them, you could just go do that, get all their mana generation. If there was 13 or more on the board, boom. You could just go through each of them once and you just team wipe. That would be really funny. Anyways, yeah, there's a lot of potential with her. But anyways, guys, that's all of the new troops from the new kingdom. We have a lot of stuff to go over. We will be still going over the event video tonight at around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be going and messing around with a lot of various teams as well, testing pretty much everything, mainly the 2 new legends and probably the event troop. There are a few other ones here and there that are kind of okay, but I feel like for the most part, the only 3 viable troops that are going to come out of this kingdom are going to be Glitter Claw, Queen Titania, and Florian, yeah. Situationally, the Cat Sith may be used in some teams, but the other 5 are pretty much never going to be used. The Summer Knight is going to be outdone by the Knight in Leonis Empire. The Pixie is going to be outdone by Goblin. Prince Ithoris is going to be outdone by just about anything else that has a summon. Fae Cap is going to be outdone by literally any other troop. And Brownie is probably too situational to ever bother using compared to a Snowy Owl. So you'd probably just use a Snowy Owl instead. But we'll still mess around with them. Anyways, guys, that'll wrap it up for this video. If you still have any other questions, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. I wish you all the best of luck with your key openings. Don't forget gold and event keys today, and then all the other ones on Friday for the new Mythic. But yeah, I'll see you all later. Thank you all so much for watching, and goodbye.